Coming at you live from my home studio in beautiful La Puente, California. This is the All Dodgers podcast. And man, if we are going live on back-to-back days, that must mean baseball is here, baby. Spring training is here, and we got news and notes and updates. Kershaw, Kiké is official. Kershaw's back, and there is an injury update we need to talk about with Evan Phillips. So all that and more on another quick hitter edition of All Dodgers Live. Let's bring in my guy. That is producer. Give him a follow. Producer Kevin. Give him a follow at Skinner7 Kevin on the social medias. Was unable to join me in my glaze fest of Kiké Hernandez yesterday.
Your glaze fest.
I mean, it was mine. I went off on him. Quickly, give me. We're gonna talk Kiké. Actually, we'll pin Kiké talk because we are gonna talk about Kiké Hernandez being official. But guys, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, do all those kind of things that help the channel out. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and we're really looking to do it before opening day. But appreciate you guys hanging out with us. The chat is lit, as we like to say sometimes, even though I never really say that. We got 499 super chat from Francisco Diaz saying Kiké on Sunday, Goat Shaw today. All is right in the world. Let's go Dodgers. Yeah, Kershaw is back. I'm very happy about that. Before we talk Kershaw real quick, I do want to tell you guys about our friends at BetOnline. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you are a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, I'm being handsy again here. We're not going to do that, but BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. They have the largest selection of odds on everything from NBA, college basketball, NHL, UFC. BetOnline continues to be your number one source for sports betting. From every three-pointer to every hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. The game starts here at BetOnline, and the show starts now. Let's get it going. The man, the myth, the legend, Clayton Edward Kershaw comes back for year number 18. So he shows up at Dodger camp. That's an important thing. Not official yet. I do have some shots here. Of course, not very official yet, but he was at Dodger Stadium or at Camelback Ranch. What do you got? Close enough?
No shots? No
oh,
shots.
Do we do a Kershaw shot? A Kershaw?
Are we?
I mean, there's a reason I keep the bottle here. I got my little Jim Beam Dodger shirt here on a bottle of Jack. It was Apple Juice YouTube. Oh, it's been a minute. Guys, Kershaw's back. We're doing Kershots. How about that?
Kershots. Oh, no.
Kershots. The deal is pending a physical. Seth Klein with a $5 super chat says, Kevin, buy a Dodgers background.
I'm the only Dodgers background you need. Do you see this hat?
Technically, right now,
Dodgers
your fiance is the background. You are the foreground. But it doesn't matter about this. Again, Kershaw returning, not official. He's already there at Camelback. He's working out. He's throwing. He's doing his progression. He is returning. Still in the process of returning from that foot injury and surgery, from that knee injury and surgery. I pushed that button. I meant to push this button. But guys, subscribe for Clayton Kershaw. Obviously, there are some people that aren't huge on Clayton being back with this team. I love it. Our friend Snydog talked about it. A few people talked about it online. Entering year 18 as a big leaguer. Oh, God, if that doesn't make you feel old, kids, I tell you what. But yeah, man, he's coming back. He's chasing history. What are you hoping that we see out of Clayton Kershaw in season 18?
It's going to sound absolutely crazy, but pretty much more of the same that we've seen from a healthy Clayton Kershaw outside of last year, where we apparently his foot and knee were falling off, let alone his shoulder. Back in 2023, again, with an injury, he lowered his career ERA to, I think, like a 2.48, because that year he had a 2.46 or 2.46, 2022, 2.48 or 2.28, excuse me. 2021, a 3.55. He was injured that year, I believe, as well. He had some back tightness. I don't know. The dude is just a gamer. We've talked a little bit about like how Tony Gonsolin kind of defies the odds, and that's kind of how I feel about Clayton Kershaw. Like when he doesn't even have to be right by like our standards, by our definition of he needs to be 100% healthy, as long as he can throw a baseball, he just prevents outs or prevents runs. Excuse me. He prevents runs. He gets outs better than any pitcher in baseball. So I expect maybe not like a high twos guy, because that would be incredible, but I expect a really incredible Clayton Kershaw where on some days, you're going to get that, 7-inning, 1-run Kersh. Maybe a couple other days you might get a 4-inning, 3-run Kersh. I think you'll see somewhere in between, which isn't like a crazy prediction, but what I'm saying is I do think he has the potential to be an elite starter, but at the bare minimum, he's going to be an above average plus WAR.
Yeah.
Major league starting pitcher.
And he's going to get the job done. He's going to give this team innings. He's probably, I mean, we'll hear from him eventually. He will speak to reporters. He doesn't like doing that very early in camp when he does report. Again, not even officially signed at this point. Maybe he tipped his hand a little bit that there was a handshake deal in place. Maybe the same with Kiké Hernandez. We'll talk about Kiké in a second. But just having Clayton back, I mean, having the veteran presence there, kind of, we know he's chasing history, 32 strikeouts away from 3,000, one season and a postseason away from a third World Series ring to cap off a surefire Hall of Fame career. Who knows if he comes back next year? It feels like it would be very, very difficult to find a way to fit him in next year. Feels like it's very difficult to find a way to fit him in this year, but we know how the baseball gods like to operate. We know not everything is going to be all perfectly rosy and everybody's going to stay healthy. Clayton Kershaw is going to be a factor for this team in the regular season. He's going to be an important piece for this team as Roki Sasaki makes the transition to MLB, as Shohei Ohtani returns from injury and missing a full season as a pitcher. Yoshinobu Yamamoto tries to get his feet under him for a second season and hopefully a full season. Tyler Glass now having his injury woes. Dustin May had his injury woes. Tony Gonsolin has his injury woes. Understanding that this is not the Clayton Kershaw we needed to rely on in 2009, in 2013, in 2015, in 2017, 18. It's not just 16. Him anymore. It's not just him. He has other dudes. He has a front line he could throw out there. Now, if we are seeing him getting, and this is way ahead, I would rather be happy about Kershaw being back than be a dick about it today. But if we are seeing him get starts just for the sake of, it's Clayton Kershaw, he deserves a postseason start, then I'm going to have some problems. What I don't have problems with is a couple of super chats. You want to read your brother and Kevin there, Uhas's $5?
My brother and Kevin. It's a Kevin community. Did you know Kershaw's best friend is Matthew Stafford? That is. Did you know Kershaw's best friend is future Las Vegas Raiders quarterback Matthew Stafford?
Hold on, wait. Is anybody writing this down? Is anybody breaking this news right now? Matthew Stafford on a plane to Toronto right now is what I'm hearing.
He's on a plane to Vegas. Stop it.
999 super chat from our friend Richard Flores. Thank you very much. Richie says, we think Kevin's Kitchen is a great look. Sincerely, people who use bed sheets as drapes. F Aaron Boone. And if you have problems with Kershaw being back, you have problems with me. F the Yankees. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the Yankees and Aaron Boone thing, but whatever. The Yankees got a little chip on their shoulder from, honestly, it should be from Chris Taylor, is the one who said they shit down their own leg. So that's pretty funny. If you're getting clowned on by the nicest man in the universe, that is pretty funny. More.
Hey man,
go ahead. If
you don't want to get clowned on, don't have a fifth inning. How could they be mad?
That's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing thing.
It was an embarrassing inning. You can argue the Yankees lost it more than the Dodgers won it that game, but don't lose it then, and then don't get mad when the winning team points out your flaws. I don't know. Everyone saw it coming. We just kind of, got to enjoy it, at least on the West Coast.
Definitely on the West. It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun for us. I do want to get a couple more of the comments in here because there is some good stuff. A lot of people in the chat appreciate you guys hanging out with us.
Love you guys.
Our friend Mike Doomsal, he's out in Arizona covering things, being boots on the ground for our friends at Dodgers Beat, and as well as himself. So make sure you guys give Doomsal a follow. He also has his own YouTube channel, but he should be posting things over with our friends at the Bleed Los podcast. Young Yi, we are going to talk a little Sasaki a little bit. Young Yi says Sasaki's going to be a Dodgers ace in 3 years. It is kind of funny that after the Sasaki signing, we haven't talked a lot about Roki, but we did get a first look at him today. I want to talk about that in a little bit, but it's a good look. It does make you excited. I don't know, all of a sudden I've become more excited about seeing more Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Maybe I'm just weird. I love the little dude, even though he's 6 feet tall and, it's got like 97, 98. Whatever, man.
Yeah, little guy. And then you rattle off his metrics. It's like, yeah, man, if I could throw 98 miles an hour, I'd be in the league too. What the hell?
BC, this was the one I was looking for. Great point from BC. Shit, where'd it go? Saying that F the media for acting like Joe Kelly and Chris Taylor speak for the team. That's a really good point. I'll give a couple of points for that one there because those were the most vocal ones, honestly. I mean, like Mookie Betts on his podcast praised the Padres, talked about how good they were. They were the better team. Didn't really, as far as I can remember, didn't clown too hard on the Yankees. Yankees clowned on themselves enough. That's just a reality. They clowned on themselves enough. And thoughts and prayers going out to the Yankees. And shout out to my buddy Derek Lewandowski, who I think is live right now doing his first spring training Yankees show of the season. Guys, like and subscribe. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about the official return of Kiké Hernandez. The contract is revealed, as I would have written as a title in a former life. But 1 year, $6.5 million contract, so he gets a little bit of a raise over last year. And Gavin Stone to the 60-day IL. It was either going to be Stone or Brusdar Graterol, so not a huge thing. We do get more dick bumps there, tip bumps. I guess not with Gavin Lux, but Kiké's back. You didn't get a chance to talk Kiké glaze all over the return of Kiké. Oh, wrong button. Last night. So why don't you give me some Kiké thoughts here? The floor is yours, my friend.
Kiké was the guy we've been missing for years. People want to talk about the Dodgers not stepping up into the postseason, not stepping up in October. Mookie and Freddie in 22 and 23 disappearing. Man, you're talking about having that heartbeat, having the guy that comes through in those moments. It's Kiké Hernandez. I said it all last year. Do not care what Kiké's stats are from early March to late September. I only care what Kiké's stats are in October. And he, again, showed up, showed out. Miguel Rojas gets injured, which was beneficial for Kiké, but kudos to Miggy Rowe, for stepping aside and knowing that the team needed to ride the hot hand, which was Kiké Hernandez, and he delivered. Time in, time out. He's just a postseason big stage dude. And I'm so happy to have him back because we know this organization, we know this team wins through 162. It's built to win through 162. It's getting those guys like Kiké, like Teoscar, who was a big contributor, maybe not in the World Series, but leading up to that point. It's having those guys in the clubhouse. And I love what Andrew Friedman said in your interview on Dodgers Territory with Alana Rizzo, how Kiké showed some of the best leadership he's ever seen. And, he didn't say it personally, and I'm not necessarily calling this gentleman out, but Andrew Friedman has seen some incredible leadership in guys like a Justin Turner or even, Austin Barnes. Like, he's seen some great Clayton Kershaw and the pitching staff. Like, he's seen some really good leadership examples. And to say that Kiké showed the best leadership, that to me, rung clear as a crystal bell. So I'm excited he's back. I think he gives a spark to this offense. to the team in general, not just the offense, but just to the team. So
the clubhouse, that's exactly. A very important factor. That was the whole thing I went off about yesterday, as we did get a $2 super chat a little while ago from our friend Seth Klein saying, "Preach, Kevin. Let Kevin cook." Woo! Kevin was cooking until he said Austin Barnes, which I agree, but people are just immediately going to hate on Austin Barnes. We could also throw Miguel Rojas in there.
Captain.
He is a captain. Oh, captain, my captain, Captain Mighty Mouse. With somebody like Kiké Hernandez, man, it's just having that dude that everybody can kind of, he can put an arm on everybody's shoulder in that team, whether it's a veteran, whether it's a rookie, especially the rookies coming up. And we saw a lot of different people, enter that clubhouse last year, but just the growth, like thinking about the growth. And that was the whole thing I had set up with Andrew. It took me a while to get there, but starting with this banana kid, chunky boy becomes the vegan, dairy free man because of Chase Utley, leaves us for a little while, comes back, and just all of it kind of came together for a perfect full circle version of Kiké Hernandez. And we're talking earlier, Clayton Kershaw entering year 18. This is season number 12. As a big leaguer for Kiké Hernandez.
Like, even beyond what you're saying, Kiké's a great guy to have in the clubhouse during that, it's gonna happen
the dog
in the middle
days
of August.
Of summer.
Yeah, the middle of August, the Dodgers are gonna lose.
Sometimes
The Royal we. They're gonna lose 6 of 8 games, 6 of 7 games. Everyone's gonna wonder what happened to whatever. There was a great interview. I forget. I think it might have been on Foul Territory. Your associated but he was saying that he had a trip with the Marlins, and it was they were also facing that dog days of summer, and he was just like, "Hey man, what about that bunt that he didn't lay down properly?" And he got the whole clubhouse laughing. Like having a guy like that to live in the clubhouse, even especially, and not even, but just especially during those long months of summer, that stuff, those are intangibles that you just you can, there's no OPS you can put on that. There's no WRC plus. There's no WAR you can attribute to that. It's just invaluable.
I think there's dog created plus. Maybe he's got that dog in him, and that was one of the things I had also set up with Andrew. Like I just threw it in to for the sake of it, but I do believe in Kiké doing the whole because we don't give a fuck to Ken Rosenthal. Yeah. That was something to take some of the pressure off of the situation. It was a tough series with those San Diego Padres. I mean, we're talking a few innings away from it being done, and all of a sudden have to answer those questions again. Harder questions, getting bounced in the first round for a third year. I said it was inaccurate. It's not, they did not give a fuck. They gave all the fucks, and that's why it mattered. But him doing that, livening up the clubhouse, the booze, the champagne tastes a little better. The music sounds a little better when Kiké goes out there and does stuff like that.
Champagne tastes better when it's sprinkled on with a little bit of Kiké. I've heard that.
Reliable
sources.
Sources. Hold on, I got to do this one because this is great. I don't know if it's going to show up well, but we're going to try our best to make this show up well. But I just see this one. We got Dong Plus. That's phenomenal. Thank you, Dong Kim. That is a new stat we're all looking for sure. Elisheva Jones, loving some Kershaw being back. Kershaw, the GOAT. I don't use this enough. I should probably use this thing more. Got some love as well for the guy you were talking about, Austin Barnes. Anyways, I don't want to distract myself here. Jenny Vega, Kiké was the spark. He was one of the big sparks for this team as well. I would argue Mookie Betts having a big postseason was the bigger spark for everything, but it was a perfect amalgamation to make that postseason what it was. I think we have another super chat as well. There it is, Richard Appleby, $10 super chat. Thank you very much. I got the burps, but thank you very much, Richard. Saying love hearing Kershaw is coming back, and you
that
should.
Can get us. That
Nando
can get
390.
us 10,
I know is not a fan.
They can get us 10 $1 Long Island iced teas at Applebee's during the month of May. I have never had one, and I presume it is a headache in a glass, but
they're not good. They're not great for sure. But you know what? Booze for that cheap is always pretty good. Quickly button up the Kiké thing again. Gavin Stone hits the 60-day IL. Not surprising. It was either going to be him or Brusdar Gratterall. There will be more moves coming because Brusdar will be likely when
Kiké's on the 60. Gavin Stone's on the 60.
I got that wrong. Sorry, Gavin Stone on the 60-day IL. Got that one wrong. It was either going to be him or Gratterall is my point. Brusdar is likely for when Clayton Kershaw becomes official. Then Kershaw will be likely for when Roki Sasaki needs to be added to the 40-man roster and the 26-man roster for opening day. They can open up some additional roster spots via the 60-day with a River Ryan or Kyle Hurt move. Those are kind of break in case of emergency guys because they don't want them accruing service time on the MLB IL this season. So don't think the roster is still very stuffed is the point, but team control is an important thing to have for this team. A quick pause here for another quick ad break. I hope you guys don't mind. This does help us out immensely, but I do want to tell you guys about Underdog Fantasy. It is the easiest place to play all your fantasy sports, and it's now proudly helping support us here at the All Dodgers podcast. But if you want to make some picks on your favorite sports, Underdog Fantasy offers a unique approach to fantasy sports with a simple pick'em style format. It's pretty easy to figure out. I'm not a gambling dude. I'm not a betting dude, but it made it a lot easier for me. And I'll say I'm looking forward to playing. I've said it a few times. We're right here on the doorstep of the baseball season. So if people want to join in and get some underdog going along with me, I'll tell you how to do that. But first, I'll tell you it's super simple to do this. You pick higher or lower on between 2 and 8 players, and you can win up to 325 times your entry. That says 100x with our promo code ALLDodgers. All Dodgers, there it is. It's actually 325x. So I am gearing up to make my MLB 2025 regular season picks. This is Aaron Judge homers. This is how many bombs and ribbies is Shohei going to have, stolen bases. So I might do that like with the Discord family.
We could do that. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that's something we're gonna possibly get in the works, but I'll tell you, sign up at underdogfantasy.com today or download the app or click the link in the description of this video. That's the easiest way of doing it. And use that promo code ALLDodgers. If you click the link, it's automatically in there. And you get your free pick and up to $1,000. Up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Thank you for hearing me out, and thank you for helping support or supporting the brands that help support us, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's get back into it. The shocking news, we'll say, out of Camelback Ranch, out of spring training today, Evan Phillips injury wasn't on my bingo card, even though you're not super shocked because he did miss the World Series, but does have a tear in the back of his right rotator cuff. That's what kept him out of the World Series. Got PRP in November and is rehabbing, likely, very strongly likely, not going to be ready for opening day, which is not that big of a problem because a couple weeks ago we thought that was going to be Michael Kopech. Instead, it's Evan Phillips. But my God, does this make the Tanner Scott signing that much more important? And it also makes the Kirby Yates deal make a lot more sense. The guy you famously forgot about last week.
Forgot about entirely.
It happens. But how do you feel about this situation?
It sucks. It's not, like you said, it's not surprising when you get a guy like Evan Phillips who misses. So, in context, Daniel Hudson pitched in the World Series, but famously has come out and said that if he had to pitch Game 5, his arm would have fallen off. The fact that Evan Phillips missed the World Series tells you how significant that injury was, because he couldn't even go at all.
Yeah.
So this is it. So it's not surprising at this moment. We knew there was something a little more serious going on. If it was something even minor to medium, we figured he'd be available. But the fact that he wasn't available at all, we figured there was a little bit more behind the scenes than we were led on to believe. It makes the Kirby Yates signing way more obvious. It makes it make much more sense. makes a greater need for Tanner Scott, especially considering the innings that Blake Trinan threw in October. So, and with the pain he felt earlier in that season, we just have to kind of hope that he'll be ready at some point in the season. But I've got to be honest with how this organization deals with injuries, with how they baby their pitchers specifically. Yeah. I can't imagine he's back any earlier than the All-Star break. And that's fine. That's okay. It's just with shoulder injuries, they're not going to want to throw him out there for no reason, especially with this iteration of the bullpen where not a lot of guys have options. So they can't just like bring Evan Phillips back up for no reason and just option somebody down. No, I think what is it? I think Vesia is the only guy left with an option reliever.
Year.
Yeah. So
which definitely that hamstrings this team greatly.
Yes.
At least from the way they're used to operating.
Yes. So if they bring back Phillips, I think he's going to have to be fully healthy.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we're at a point. There's enough talent, and I put Nando390's comment up there because I agree. I think this really does open a massive door for Dustin May, and this was somebody we were talking about last week. Where if you're looking at some dudes that are kind of on the outside looking in on a potential roster spot, Dustin May is one of those guys where there's no clear-cut role for him in the starting rotation. Yeah, he'll probably be in there for, the first couple of weeks of the season, but if he's going to stick around, he's most likely got to assume some sort of bullpen role, and that if he wants to be a pitcher on this Dodgers team, that's going to be his best doorway to doing it, his best path to doing it. Otherwise, or either way, I should say, like you said, and I love what you said, he's also pitching for 29 other teams this year every time he gets on the bump for the Dodgers, whether it's in spring training or during the regular season. But Phillips, definitely a big blow, but to have it now, I mean, thank God they survived the World Series without him because they did have enough pitching. They have more now, but I am okay with them letting him let it just calm down. They got the PRP done in November, so it's been at least 3 months, more resting, more healing. Now he's going to be working full time with the Dodgers strength and conditioning coaches there at Camelback. So it's a shock. It's something to watch early in camp, whatever they end up doing with him. But I think what we saw last year, like this team could kind of survive without him. Especially with the addition of Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates.
Yeah, exactly. This year more than any. And like you said, with Dustin May potentially being a swing man, they have backups for an Evan Phillips. It's just, it sucks that a guy that's been so pivotal to this organization for the last 3 years is going to miss, or 4 years, is going to miss at least
significant time.
I'm projecting significant time. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, if it is All-Star break, that's tough. That's absolutely tough. And then, but at the All-Star break, Andrew Friedman, they said, this team has said they don't want to go and be buyers at the trade deadline. Yep. Well, if you're getting Evan Phillips back and you're getting Clayton Kershaw back probably by that time and Emmett Sheehan by that time, you kind of don't need to go out and be buyers. You have some options in-house. And if you want to be sellers, Evan Phillips is coming back. Kershaw's coming back. Dustin May, if you're doing okay and other teams need you and we don't, a la Ross Stripling 2020, maybe there's some sort of offload or whatever. So Dodgers, once again, very, very good spot. They can weather the storm of losing Evan Phillips for a little bit. And for me, right now, it adds a little bit of clarity to the opening day roster, picture, at least on the pitching side. A couple of things here. Friend La Jolla Poppy, good to see you back in the chat, bud. Gave a $1 super chat and then added the comment later. Internet's hard, I get it. But he says, Clint, sorry, I know it's just $1. All good, man. You're here watching with us. I know you're subscribed. And $1 is, what did you say? It's at least, it's almost talk. If you have the Jack in the Box app, it's 99-cent tacos. It's 2 tacos, baby. It's not.
La Jolla Poppy does want to know. Please get to Gonsolin and Maytalk after Kershaw signing. So let's condense that.
Yeah. We got May. We got May in there. Yeah.
We got May. So do you expect Gonsolin to make the opening day roster? Like,
100%.
is he somebody that you okay?
Yeah,
I mean,
going into opening day, he's your number 5 guy for sure. And I'm not, again, it's really, I hate the whole Japan series because it throws me off.
It does.
The whole idea of the opening day roster, because they only need 2 starters for opening day in Japan.
So domestic opening day.
Yeah.
Let's just say we got we have Glasnow, who I'm not going to forget because I famously forgot him last time. Snell, Yamamoto. I'm going to say Sasaki right now. I don't see a world in which he's not on the opening day roster. Who am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing.
I wasn't listening to you, to be honest. So you got Yamamoto, Glasnow, Roki, and then it's going to be Snell and Gonsolin at that point, because
you think Gonsolin's the 5th guy?
Yeah, for sure. And then Dustin May, and then eventually, I don't think Shohei is going to be out for the full first month, especially as good as he was already looking at Camelback Ranch.
It's different. We had this conversation on the last time we were on. That build up process is gonna be weird.
It's gonna be weird.
It's gonna look really funky.
By the way, let's get into some of those spring training notes, because Shohei is already throwing off a bump there at Camelback Ranch. To me, he's looking really good throwing wise. Of course, the swing is looking good. We did hear them talk at FanFest about that shoulder surgery that Shohei had to undergo for the labrum, but thankfully that's not his lead shoulder. It's not his throwing shoulder, so it doesn't really affect him that much, and it shouldn't affect the pop, and it shouldn't affect much in the way of throwing. So Shohei, if we're talking 2 or 3 weeks, I think he's going to be back in that starting rotation, and then we're going to see more. Go ahead.
Are you saying starting rotation as he's going to start a game and then he'll throw 2 innings? And then just it
is tough. It does go off
for a long reliever.
It does go off of what we were talking about. Yeah.
Because I for me, I don't see him being a full bore starter until May. Not Dustin, by the way. Just the month of May. It just
you're talking 5 or 6 innings, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if they build him up enough, and I'm saying, I'm putting it out there into the ethos. I do think we see Shohei Ohtani pitching in a game in spring training at Angel Stadium to wrap up spring training. Yeah, but I'm saying it now.
Oh, fine, whatever.
So,
but I agree. Shocker to nobody.
Guys, like the stream, share the stream, subscribe to the stream if you are excited to see Shohei Ohtani, your pitcher and designated hitter in 2025. We also get to see this guy, Roki. We got our first look at Roki Sasaki, the young boy. Young boy. Ray Barrios saying Shohei's delivery looks a little bit different. Hey, anything to help alleviate the stress on that elbow. That is fine. Matty Man 5 Dodge going back to Shohei. He said it didn't look like that shoulder was bugging him very much. Doesn't look like that elbow's bugging him very much. He's very early, of course, in his progression here, coming back. Or not really coming back, but getting into the heat of things here for spring training. Diane Schroeder wants to see Snellzilla. I think I have a clip of Snell. We got Tyler Glasnow throwing a ball, looking a little bit different. He told us at spring training or Dodger Fest that he altered some things with his delivery to try to alleviate some stress. Slow it down.
I would love it if he on his back. I would love
elbow,
it.
Everything.
Because so he's in you look at StatCast, nerd stats. If you don't like nerd stats, turn your brain off. He's in the 99th percentile in extension because he's 6'6" or whatever. He's gigantic, and he throws a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, so it plays up to 102, 103, whatever. But I would love it if he shortened his extension, if it helps his back just a little bit to kind of get a little bit more stable rotation in his legs, and he doesn't have to extend so far down the mound.
Mm-hmm.
If he fixes that, and can just stay healthy, man, that stuff is so nasty. I don't care if it goes down to 95, 96. Like, his hammer curve, there's nobody's hitting that. That hammer curve it's so gross. Oh my God.
Again, there's a reason they traded for this guy and then immediately extended him. He is nasty. Yeah. We've heard for many years. This is somebody who's an ace in waiting. He just needs to stay healthy. We still need to see him stay healthy, and I'm happy that this team is doing things to try to help him sort of change the narrative there when it comes to health. And again, I had the video going there. Yeah. This is seriously the guy I'm most excited about. I really want to see more Yama, because like you go back and watch like his World Series start, he's just filth. And knowing we had that dude waiting if the series did get back to LA does make me feel makes me feel good. This guy. How about this guy? The Forgotten Man.
Oh, the Forgotten Man. I love
D-May.
When I watched Clayton, as many Dodger fans have been, at least in this generation, Dodger fans have been privileged to. They've seen Clayton Kershaw, in his warm-ups at Dodger Stadium or whatever stadium they've seen him, and they recognize, my God, that dude is gigantic. He's strong. He's built like that. Like, he is a powerful pitcher coming down the mound. The one thing I noticed about Yamamoto more than any other pitcher is he generates so much energy, so much velocity from his frame. Like, I tweeted out when I saw him in Chicago. Yeah, he's not tall. He's not big. But I tweeted it out. It was just like, hey, man, this guy is throwing from center field to deep right field in long toss without a crow hop. Like, he is just generating so much energy in his shoulder that if he's right, once he's more settled in this league and just like in his routine, my God, he's going to be a weapon. We've seen... Dodger fans have seen, I've seen a lot of pitchers kind of go through their warm-ups, through the repetitions, and you kind of get to know, okay, he does, like, a pitcher does this, or they look this way. The two guys that I've seen that look like legitimately different in warm-ups are Clayton Kershaw and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. They're just like, they do stuff that you go, oh yeah, I get it why you're like that athlete. I get it.
They do that ace shit.
Yeah, they just do. Like, it's like a football player. The football player, like a receiver, jumps, like, runs a couple of routes, is like 6'2", and you're like, you should not be able to move your feet that fast. Yamamoto and Kershaw do the equivalent of that. It's like, you're that big and that powerful, going with that command, like, that doesn't make sense. Or in Yamamoto's case, you're as petite as he is, for lack of a better term. And
I hate that. I hate everything about that.
It's so fine by me, but he can generate so much torque and so much power from his frame. Like, I don't get it. It is like truly an athletic marvel. And like when I was watching him do long toss, I just blew me away. And
we're going to see a lot more long toss. We're going to see a lot more throwing. Pitchers, hitters are going to be out there. Guys, spring training is here. The first full squad workout is on Saturday. Cactus League lid lifter is next Thursday, the 20th. At Camelback Ranch. I've said it a whole bunch. It is a fun time to be a Dodger fan. It's a fun time to read Seth Klein with his $2 super chat saying Shohei needs a pitch March 23rd when all Dodgers is there. Guys, we are working on an all Dodgers Discord meetup and hang out at the game. It's either going to be at Dodger Stadium or at the Angel game. How the Freeway Series works. But the only way you're going to find out about it, the only way you're officially invited is if you are a part of our Discord. If you're looking to join our Discord and looking for a different way to support the show, do check us out, patreon.com/realfrg, or click the join button here on the YouTube machine. It is $5 American a month. And again, one, you're helping support the show, but two, you get access to our Discord, and $5 is much cheaper than some other places apparently charge for Discord. And we have a very, very good group. We have a very group. One would say a good group of people. There are of all the people in there are some of them for sure. But check that out, and that's how you get involved in. We have at least 3 game meetups in the works so far, but you have to be a part of the Discord to come out to those games. A couple more comments, and then we will get the hell out of here. K guy with a lot of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 says, I hope Glasnow doesn't go the Bobby Miller School of Mechanics route to avoid injury. Yeah, listen.
I think Glasnow's gonna figure it out.
Yeah,
I think he's too smart, takes too good of care of himself. I think he's going to every year since we not since we got him, but like even the year before he got him, he's been slowly building up.
Yeah,
I think he's just gotta find what works best for his body. He'll figure it out. I just do.
What else did I see? I saw some other ones. Sandman Logic saying goodbye Gonsolin and May if they are healthy. I don't know what that. Oh, the other guys are healthy. No, that Gonsolin will be around. He's definitely going to be.
I think, yeah. I think Gonsolin's he'll stick around. I wouldn't be shocked if another organization looks at Dustin May's stuff and goes, "Yeah, we could use that in our organization," because the metrics on it are disgusting. But like the actual what it produces is weirdly not that good. Like, it's good, but he doesn't generate the swing and miss that you'd think he would with the amount of arm side run he has on that 2-seamer or his slide. It's weird.
We got our friend IB Strokin gifting 5 memberships to the All Dodgers YouTube channel. With that, you guys also can join us on Discord. So please, if you are one of the new members, do reach out to me. You're going to get some information on how to get signed up for that membership and all that kind of stuff. But guys, that's probably about it. That's probably about time to hit the wrap it up button on today's edition to the show. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us a whole bunch. Didn't announce today's stream, but we still had a good time. A lot of people in the chat. I think the excitement is here. The excitement is here, my friend. Yeah. It is time for Dodger baseball. If you're looking for more, go ahead. What were you saying?
No, just please. Oh. I just still need to be here. I was done with football 4 months ago. I just need baseball.
That's just because your team sucks. But anyways, enough about the Raiders. Guys, if you're looking for more me and more Dodger talk later, I'll be on with my buddy Tim Rogers over at Dodgers 2080, joining the, what does he call it now? The Blue Experience or Blue Madness? I forget. He had to change it for logistic reasons recently, but we'll be on at 8:30 Pacific time. Do tube in. We'll have a lot of conversation looking back at what was a very phenomenal offseason and looking forward to what we're expecting out of this season. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I see our friends Carnivorous Lunar Activity in the chat, Elisheva, Noah Ortega, BC's in here, Diane, everybody, love you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for all the great questions and comments, engaging with us here in the chat. Thank you so much for the super chats as well. You guys frickin' rock. Thank you to our supporters on Patreon and channel members who do already support the channel. You guys help make this show possible, or at least make it a little bit more better, as we say, grammatically correct. Again, check out patreon.com/realfrg or click the join button if you want to join, if you want to support. If not, you're fine. What you would do then is just hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the show with your friends, share it with your grandma, share it with your mailman. Call in the show bomb threat. So don't do that. That's a really bad idea. Shout out.
Whoa, that's a terrible idea.
It's a show. It's a show threat. Shout out to our mods for doing a kick-ass job. All Dodgers is presented by Bet Online. That is producer Kevin. Give him a follow at Skinner7Kevin on the Twitter. I am RealFRG on the Twitter and all the other places. Give us a follow. Again, hopefully we earned a thumbs up. Hopefully we earned a subscribe on the way out. It's completely free, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.